Breaking news, Sussex Pulse Hub family. So Harry and Meghan just released their statement, and honestly, it completely clears the room. For weeks, the tabloids have been acting like nosy landlords, stressing over which royal bedroom Harry's going to crash in. Is he staying at Windsor? Did he book a hotel? Is he sleeping on someone's couch? Like, hold on, let's bring this down to earth. Imagine you're planning a trip back to your hometown, but there are actual, legitimate safety threats against you and your kids. You're trying to figure out if you need a security detail just to walk down the street, and the local gossip mill is obsessed with whether you're getting the master bedroom or the guest suite. It's wild. The statement basically tells the press to stop looking at the floor plans and start looking at the bigger picture. At the end of the day, a locked front door doesn't mean anything if the sidewalk outside isn't safe. It's not about the luxury or the thread count of the sheets. It's about making sure a father can bring his family around without it turning into a dangerous situation. Regular people get this instantly. You protect your crew first, period. Harry is just trying to be a dad and handle business safely, while the media is busy playing real estate agent. It's a total reality check. Let's talk about this mobile risk logic, because the Sussex team just dropped some straight facts. They basically said, look, danger follows the person, not the building. Think about it like this. You could be staying in Fort Knox, but what happens when you step off the porch? It's like buying a heavy-duty, bulletproof safe, putting your most expensive chain inside it, and then taking the chain out to wear it to a crowded club with zero security at the door. Makes absolutely no sense, right? A safe house means nothing if the walk to the car is a total free-for-all. For regular people, this is just basic street smarts. If somebody has beef with you, they aren't waiting for you to invite them into your living room. They're watching the block. They're waiting until you hit the grocery store or gas up the car or stand out in the open. Visibility is where the real risk lives. The media wants to pretend Harry is safe just because he's behind a big iron gate at night. But Harry's out here saying, bro, I've got public events, I've got travel, I've got to actually move. You can't just pause a threat like a video game the second you step onto the sidewalk. He's looking at the whole chessboard while everyone else is staring at the doormat. It's just common sense. Let's get into the paperwork side of this mess, because this is where the system is totally playing games. We're talking about RAVEC, the big shot committee running the security show. Way back in November, these guys literally stood up and said, yeah, we need to do an independent risk assessment for Harry. Fast forward to right now, cricket noises. Absolutely nothing has happened. Let's break this down for the real world. Imagine your boss tells you, hey, the brakes on the company van are totally shot. We absolutely must get them checked by a mechanic before the big road trip. Then 7 months passed, the keys are handed to you and they go, all right, hit the highway. You'll be fine. You'd be standing there like, are you out of your mind? That is exactly the kind of bureaucratic ghosting Harry is dealing with. The committee literally wrote down the rule, approved the safety check, and then just forgot to actually do the work. It's total laziness dressed up in a fancy suit. Regular people know how this goes. When the higher-ups don't want to solve a problem, they just let it sit in an inbox until it goes away. But Harry isn't letting them slide on this. You can't claim everything is safe and appropriate when you skipped the one major test that actually proves it. He's calling out the slackers in the office, and honestly, good for him. So the powers that be are out here telling everyone the security plan is totally fine and perfectly balanced. But wait, remember that independent safety check they skipped? Yeah, they're basically saying, just trust us, bro. Hold up, no receipt, no proof, but we're just supposed to take your word for it? That is wild. Think about it like buying a used car. The dealer tells you, oh, this ride is completely safe, pristine condition, drives like a dream. You ask to see the official inspection report and they say, oh, we didn't actually do one, but trust me, the vibes are immaculate. You would walk right off that lot. You're not putting your family in a car when the guy selling it skipped the safety inspection but keeps screaming it's safe. That's the exact scam Harry is calling out. You cannot claim the security is appropriate when you purposefully avoided the one unbiased test meant to actually is appropriate. They're just grading their own homework and giving themselves an A+. Down here in the real world, if you don't do the prep work, you don't get to claim the results. Harry is just asking for basic accountability, but the gatekeepers are acting like he's asking for the moon. He's 100% right to call foul on this. You don't gamble with safety based on a pinky promise.
Let's strip away all the royal titles, the fancy palaces, and the endless TV commentary for a second. Get rid of all that noise. At the end of the day, what are we actually looking at here? We're looking at a dad. That's it. Just a regular dad trying to make sure his two little kids, Archie and Lilibet, don't end up in a sketchy situation. Think about it. Any parent watching this gets it immediately. If you're taking your kids to a different neighborhood or even just a busy playground, what's the very first thing you do? You check the vibe, you scan the area, you make sure the environment isn't chaotic before you let them out of the car. It's pure instinct. If the math doesn't add up, you don't go. Simple. But when Harry does the exact same calculation for his family, the media acts like he's launching a space mission or throwing a diva tantrum. They turn basic parenting into a global soap opera, like, oh, look at him demanding things. Come on, the man isn't playing chess or trying to win a PR war. He's looking at his toddlers and saying, I need to know we're good before we step outside. That isn't royal drama, that's just being a protective father. Anyone with kids knows you don't gamble with your family's safety just to make the neighbors happy. Harry is just clocking in for dad duty, and honestly, you can't get mad at him for that. Here's the thing people are completely missing. Harry isn't slamming the door and storming off. He's not ghosting the UK or throwing up a middle finger. If you actually listen to the tone of the statement, he's doing the exact opposite. The man is out here trying to find a workaround. He's looking for a green light, not an excuse to pull the plug. Think about that friend who moved across the country but keeps trying to plan a trip back to the old block. They aren't saying, I hate it there, I'm never coming back. They're on the group chat like, yo, if we can figure out the right situation and make sure we got a safe spot to park, I am 100% there. That's Harry right now. He's trying to solve the puzzle, not flip the board. If he wanted to permanently cut ties, he'd just stay in California, sip his juice, and never mention a flight to London again. It'd be way easier. Instead, he's putting in the hours, dealing with the paperwork, and keeping negotiations alive. The media wants to paint him like a villain plotting a breakaway, but he's literally just a guy trying to bridge the gap so he can bring his family over. He wants to make it happen, he just needs the paperwork to make sense first. Let's look at the heart of this whole thing, because underneath all the legal talk, it's about family roots. Harry wants Archie and Lilibet to actually know where they come from. He's not trying to flex a royal banner, he just wants his kids to see the old neighborhood, meet the relatives, and understand their own history. Think about it like this. Imagine you moved away from your hometown, started a fresh life, but you still want your kids to know their grandparents, eat the food you grew up on, and understand your side of the family tree. You don't want them growing up only seeing their heritage on a FaceTime screen or a Wikipedia page. You want them to touch the grass, see the monuments, and feel that real-life connection. It's about giving his kids their full identity. But right now, the UK press is treating a basic family reunion like a high-stakes spy movie. They're making it impossible for a guy to just show his kids his childhood stomping grounds without a massive headache. Every regular person gets this. You want your kids to know their story, period. Harry isn't asking for a crown or a parade for his toddlers. He's just trying to secure the perimeter so his kids can safely learn about their own roots. It's pure dad energy, and honestly, nobody should be blocking that play. Check out how the Sussex team handled the mic on this one. They didn't come out swinging. No name-calling, no throwing shade, no caps lock raging. The tabloids were probably praying for a massive dramatic explosion so they could print 30 pages of gossip. But Harry's spokesperson just gave them pure ice. It was totally professional, cool, and completely focused on fixing the problem. Think about when you're trying to get a refund from a difficult company or settle a dispute with an annoying neighbor. If you roll up screaming and kicking over trash cans, the whole thing goes sideways instantly. They just lock the doors and call the cops. But if you walk in with your receipts, keep your voice steady, and lay out exactly how to fix the mess, you completely trap them. They have to actually deal with you. That is exactly the move here. Harry isn't trying to burn the bridge down, he's trying to make sure it's structurally sound so he can drive across it. He didn't take the bait. By keeping the vibe calm and solution-oriented, he's putting the ball right back in their court. It's the ultimate grown man move, keeping your cool so you can actually get things done. That is all for today. Huge shout out to everyone for tuning in. I'm your host, Miles. Smash that subscribe button, stay safe, and I'll catch you all on the next one.